but I staged a whole protest right before I left. I can't remember if it was the day that I got eliminated or the day before, but so I was effing pissed.
Everybody go. Everybody go. Everybody go. Everybody go. Everybody go. Everybody go. Everybody go.
Hey guys, how are you guys doing today? How are you guys doing today? We are doing a hashtag America's Next Top Model Cycle 10 with Claire. Hey guys, how are you guys doing? Hello everyone. I'm just typing something to pin right now. Hey guys. Happy Sunday, where I am. Y'all like this face? So y'all know I really didn't do too much. Let me tell y'all what I did. Let's pin this and let's send this to the lady Claire. Let her know that we are here and we're doing the, oh, she's already here. Okay, dope. All right, so let me just do my little, okay. Uh-oh. Let me just make sure this is steady. Rock steady. All right. What is going on, everybody? Hey, this is Oliver Twixt, the hair nerd in charge, coming to you guys loud, live, and in color in the words of my gay mother, T.S. Madison, on this Sunday to talk to Claire from America's Next Top Model, Cycle 10. You know, I don't know why I chose this shirt to wear today. For those of you guys who watch Chasing Atlanta, you've seen me wear this shirt in the confessional, and I haven't worn it since that day. And I'm actually kind of happy I wore it. Like, I feel very much so housewife tees. Like, I feel like it's all these textures and this green grass and these textiles and the... But anyways, we're going to bring on Claire today to talk about Cycle 10. And I am so excited. I just finished binge watching. Literally just saw her get eliminated like 10 minutes ago. And it's so cool now to have the opportunity to speak to her. So listen, guys, before I bring Claire on, we've been doing this thing for a couple of chats now, which is the badge program that Instagram has introduced to its lives. So Claire and I are going to speak, and then once I'm done grilling her and getting all the things out of her about Cycle 10, we're going to go into a live Q&A right now on Instagram. And the way you can participate is by getting a badge. Right now at the bottom, you should see something that says, click here to get a badge. And at the end, everybody who has a badge, I'm going to read your questions live in the Q&A in the live stream, but it's only going to come at the end, and you must get a badge to get your question answered live with Claire about Top Model Cycle 10. Without further ado, let me bring her in.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, mostly.
Thank you so much for agreeing to do this with me on this day.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, yes.
How are you?
You know what? I'm okay. I started this morning a little groggy. It's a little mixy here in Atlanta. Like, we're getting winter weather, but with summer showers, so it's a little...
Ooh, baby, hot Atlanta. I want to be there, actually.
Where are you?
I've never been to Atlanta at all, and I want to go.
You've never been to Atlanta?
No, and I was seriously looking at houses during quarantine. I'm like, let's move to Atlanta. Let's go down there.
No, and I believe like the real estate market here is really good.
Yeah, no, I think so. And they got a lot of acting stuff going on. You guys were able to open up like a lot earlier and get back to shooting before we were. So it can be great for actors as well.
Yeah, I do know. Like the thing I'm on, we started back up, and I know like a lot of other movies and shows and like sitcoms and stuff have started back up here in Atlanta. So yeah, bring your ass down here, girl.
I know, I should come at least visit. Yeah, I don't know about this show. What is this show? You're on Chasing Atlanta? I don't know this show.
Well, Chasing Atlanta is the one that I'm on for YouTube, but there is another one that I'm a part of that I can't say what it is right now because, of course, girl, you know how these things go. You know, you can't say until they say it. And then
NDAs, all up in the A's.
Did I sign an NDA?
Then you can talk.
But I'm not going to. I'm not going to test. I'm not going to test it. I'm not.
I'm kidding. I know. You come back, they're like, oh no, actually you're fired. Sorry.
Right. And I'll be like,
what? That wasn't me. That was somebody else.
Me. It was definitely somebody else. Claire told me to tell you guys.
Go get that
Claire,
bitch.
we're talking about cycle 10 of Top Model.
Oh my gosh. That was like a million years ago. It's crazy.
How long ago was it for you?
It was, well, I know because my daughter turned 1 on that show. So it's always easy for me to calculate. I just minus 1 year off of her age. So that was literally 13 years ago.
Dang it. Does it feel like 13 years ago?
That's a long time ago. What's that?
Does it feel like 13 years?
It feels like another lifetime ago. Like I could completely forget that even ever happened to me. And then, yeah. And then someone will say like, oh my God, I saw the show or I was watching reruns or something, or somebody in the city would be like, hey, are you? And then I'll be like, oh yeah, that's right.
I did do that thing.
I did do that thing.
That thing one time with that lady.
With that crazy lady. We
Ooh,
were all crazy.
Okay, listen. I want to ask you, what made you even audition for Top Model?
Well, yeah, that's why, because I was like crazy hormonal. I had just had a baby and I was like home watching ANTM and being like, oh, I could do that. And telling my husband, you know, I want to be on the show and everything. And he said, oh, well, there was auditions in the city, in New York City. And I was like, what, really? Why didn't you tell me? I would have gone. And he's like, oh, I didn't really know that you would want to do that. And I was like, well, I'm going to go. I'm going to go to the Boston one and I'm going to actually try. And so I went and then I got on the show.
First time auditioning?
Yes.
Dope. Now listen, did you model before you auditioned for Top Model?
Yeah, I did. I had modeled before and I had stopped modeling. I was working in the film industry in like a film production studio. So I was working behind the scenes and I hadn't modeled in a bit. I hadn't modeled for like 2 years, but then when I was pregnant, actually I did pregnant modeling. And so that's what kind of got me in that mindset of like, oh, you know, modeling is fun again and maybe I should look into it. And then that kind of led me onto the show. So
a little side note, I remember a part of your story was your family, your husband and your daughter. Are you still with your husband?
Yes, God willing, we are together.
Amazing.
I know, you know, it is hard road. We've been together, 2002, what year is it? 18 years. We've been together for 18 years. Yes, and it's wonderful. We love each other more than we did when we got together, for sure. But it's a hard road. Like, people don't talk about how much of a struggle marriage is. It's really about the work. And there were times when I thought we were not going to make it. And there were times that were extremely, extremely rough. But we fought tooth and nail for each other and for our family. And without being willing to really put everything on the line for each other and willing to give it up, all of it up for your family, it's not going to happen.
What's the best advice you can give someone who's in a young relationship, or not a young relationship, but a new relationship or a new marriage, being someone who's been married to someone for 18 years? And I'm pretty sure you guys' relationship extends past 18 years. Yeah. What's the best advice you can give someone?
Yeah, you just have to be really willing to be open to the other person. You have to be willing to sacrifice. You have to be just so accepting of, you have to be really accepting of everything about them that you don't like and what you do like, and really know that you can't really change a person. You can only change yourself. That I have to tell myself all the time, you know, so you have to change how you're behaving in order to get what you want.
Gotcha.
Not change the other person.
Right. No, that was great. That's great. So listen, Claire, let me ask you this. Have you seen any of my lives before with the past top model contestants?
I did watch some of yours, and then I was watching when you had Marvita on there, but I was like putting the baby to sleep. Well, she's a small child now, but my little one, I was putting her to sleep, so I was watching it with no audio. And I was like, what, Marvita, my baby, what is she doing? But yeah, so I don't know what you guys said, but
well, good,
I watched
good.
the one with you and Bianca just recently. That was cute.
Yes. Okay, cool. So the reason why I asked is because I just wanted to see if you knew like what I do. So basically, I'm going to ask you the fan questions that I pulled from my YouTube channel as well as my Instagram. I'm going to mix in a little bit of my questions I have in there, but they do a great job at asking the questions I believe that all of us want to know. A lot of unanswered questions or things that people still may be confused about. They do a good job at putting them in the comment section. So I'm going to ask those questions, and then after we're done, we're going to go into the live Q&A right here, right now on Instagram. Like I told the people earlier, you can participate in a live Q&A by copying a badge. And then once we get to that section, as I see the badges come through with the questions, I'm going to ask Miss Claire. Now, before I begin, I must say, Claire, I think you arguably, one could easily argue that you have or had one of the best makeovers ever in top model history.
Oh, thank you. That's amazing.
No, you're so welcome. What did you think when you saw the finished product?
Well, when it was happening, this is the season they didn't tell people what you were going to get, which is messed up, first of all. Like, nobody ever does it. They're like, oh, in the real world of modeling, sometimes you don't know what you're going to get. Okay, that's not true. Well, actually, that didn't happen once to me. They were like shaving one side of my head, and I thought it was just for the job to shave the one side. And they're like, okay, now we're going to shave the other side of your head. I was like, what? Wait. That was not in the deal. So I ended up with both sides of my head shaved, and I didn't know that was going to happen. But that never really usually ever happens. But so I was just having like chemicals put on my head, and then I started to realize, oh, these mother effers are making me freaking blonde. And I was pissed. Because I was like, you know, I'm a multi-ethnic person. I don't consider myself white. And I was like, they're trying to make me look like a white girl. And I was like really mad. But then when it came out, I thought it was so good. Like it brought out the color of my skin more. Like, you know, I thought I had even a better, nice glow to my skin. And it was honestly the only thing they could have done with me coming on with my like crazy half shaved head anyway. So they were really smart on that. Some of the other ones, like Marvita's mane tail, I don't know what they were thinking. But I know. Never.
Okay, so here we go. We're going to get into these questions. And again, I repeat, these are the fan questions. So if any of them upset you, blame it on the people. Don't blame it on me.
I don't care. Come on.
So Nate Aubrey wants to know, did Claire have any interaction and or memory of casting week with a specific person, and this person is Camila, who was cut in the final elimination before the top 14 and later appeared on Bad Girls Club?
Oh, Camila. Wait, what did she look like? Was she a little bit of a fuller girl? Camila.
Well, we got our answer.
I definitely, the name sounds familiar. Definitely we had interactions during casting week, but I don't remember.
A Camila.
I remember a Camila, but I can't remember her face to the name.
Gotcha.
Right now.
How was casting for you? How was that week for you?
That week was super fun. And the craziest thing is one of my close friends now, she was there at casting week, Erica. She's at It's Daddy Longlegs. Yeah, and she has a real story. Like, that's some real tea we should find out, because I think she came on as they hired her as like a model to come. Like, she didn't audition normally for the show, and they just brought her out, and she didn't make it into the house, but she's a freaking amazing model. She still works. She's gorgeous, beautiful, beautiful Black girl from New Orleans. She's amazing. And I think they brought her to make it look like a more of a real model competition in a way, to bring like, you know, real models. And I don't know if there were more of them, but that's what I'm actually curious. I should ask her.
And then once you get the answer, please tell me.
I know. I'm like, can I text her right now, or will that disappear live?
Okay, Miles Stokes wants to know. Okay, I'm gonna hold on that question. I'm gonna hold on that one. Sorry. Raymond wants to know, what is her reaction to the big controversy this cycle about the A&TM house, which that was like everywhere. Do you remember that? It was, and they gave me a little blurb. During the contestant stay in New York, the model stayed in a $6 million apartment. However, when the cycle was over, it was revealed that the contestants had caused over $500,000 in damages. The landlord, and they put their name here, Michael Marvisi, explained that the girls had left food on the walls, damaged a $15,000 chandelier beyond repair, and caused $90,000 of damage to a store below.
All right, now, that was BS. Okay, first of all, we're models. We're barely even eating, okay? They barely give us time to eat. But no, the place was not that nice at all, for one thing. That place was a shithole. And the reason why it was damaged is because it was falling apart. Like, one of the things they said about water damage, and actually that might actually be my fault, but there was this giant jacuzzi tub. And so like one day, and it looked all nasty, like it wasn't cleaned out. So one day I was like, I want to try to do a jacuzzi tub. So I cleaned it out. I spent like an hour like trying to get all the freaking shit out of all of the jets and everything. And finally I filled it up with water, but the thing like did not work. And then it wouldn't even drain. It was broken. And so I think something probably happened with that being filled with water, and it like leaked to the stairs downstairs below. But that's because their plumbing was just butt kiss. They didn't put that place together well at all. It might have looked good on camera, but that's like a Chinatown loft shithole. Like, it was not a super nice place. And it was small. Like, the only reason I would feel like I wish I went out to LA, because I think they had way nicer houses than we had. Our place was like, we were stuck in 2 rooms, all girls stuck together in 2 rooms. Yeah, they literally had like 10 girls. You're like, all right, you all have to just share this giant bed. Like, what the hell is that? And then the rest of them, we were all stuck in bunk beds. I mean, I don't remember, but I thought the previous seasons had better houses than us, and they had a pool.
Pool.
Our jacuzzi didn't even work. Come on.
Ew.
But no, any damage that was done was just probably like production damage. And it was the first season in New York, so like they put cameras and mics in all the walls and stuff, and they probably had all those holes drilled, and they probably just didn't even fill them back up afterwards. They probably just left all their shit there. Production was probably lazy. That's what I think all the damage probably was.
Great. Okay. So MP Ska 21 wants to know, did you ever get your trip to Bora? How did you feel about, and then also, how did you feel about doing group ghosties instead of individual ghosties? Because you were kind of bummed out you didn't win the ghostie. So first, did you get your trip to Bora?
Okay, so no, I did get like the stay. It was, what I got was a certificate for a stay at the Bora Bora hotel, but it didn't include any airfare. So when I was looking for tickets and such, it was like $3,000, and I didn't have $3,000 at that time, and I had like waited so long that it was already like, you have to go by December, and I never went. I should have. Whitney was like, oh, I will take your trip, Claire, like give me the stay and I'll fly down there. I should have just given it to her. But yeah, I didn't go, sadly.
And then how'd you feel about you guys as ghosties being grouped instead of the normal individual? Hey, Marvita. Marvita is here watching us.
Marvita! Get your booty out here. Somebody said Marvita didn't share enough tea when she was on Marvita. What are you trying to get back?
Listen, to be quite honest, the thing isn't about getting the tea, to be quite honest. You know, of course, we live in a world where people like to get tea. And of course, other girls have come on and, you know, have gagged us all with different, you know, their truths and stories and past experiences. But it's not really about getting the tea. It's really just about them answering the questions and us just really catching up with you guys and learning about, you know, your experiences back then. For me, at least. For me.
Don't lie. No shade, no tea.
No, I'm being serious, you know, because, you know, everybody's different.
Okay,
like, you know, everyone isn't going to come on and, you know, everybody's different. Everybody's different. And, you know, Marvita, now I didn't say this when I was live with her, but I'll say this now. Marvita was giving me very much so strong masculine energy. And masculine energy don't get into what I call bitch shit. And I was like,
that's true. Marvita is a reformed woman. That's what I said. She's like, no, I am past that now, guys. We need to live our good selves. Okay, that is
yes. And I told her, I DM'd her. I said, Marvita, if you're ever looking for a pretty boyfriend, just let me know, and I'll be right there.
Oh yes, I am seeing that. Let's all go to Atlanta. Marvita, let's drive down to Atlanta. We'll pick up Lauren in North Carolina on the way, and then we'll hop down to you. We have a little Auntie M10 reunion in Hotlanta.
And you guys can come to the Honeycut Hideaway. I live downtown. You guys can come to the Honeycut Hideaway, and we can sit right here on my couch with all of my animals, prints, and textiles.
I got animals in my background. I got kitty cats.
Kitty cats. Yes, ma'am, cats. Purr. Okay, listen. How did you feel about the Ghosty challenge? And it was a group challenge.
Oh, right. Sorry. I'm getting so distracted.
No,
the
okay.
Ghosty challenge was super fun. I love ghosties. And yeah, it would have been better for us to go individual. And then the way that they played me in that edit of it was they were trying to say, oh, Claire was talking too much and blah, blah, blah. But that wasn't true. What was happening was when we went to Shoshana, we were there waiting for like production, the camera, the rest of the camera crew to come. We were waiting there for like 2 hours. We were waiting forever. So in the meantime, you know, we were just sitting there. Sometimes I would talk, sometimes someone else would talk. But since we were there forever, they were able to cut it together and make it seem like, oh, Claire was being super obnoxious. I don't talk a lot. Kid. No.
You know, I'm trying to mince my words the right way. Being a part of something where, you know, sometimes you may have to wait for production to get in line. I always try to check my energy when they are ready so that I'm not present in the moment, because the people at home aren't going to know we just sat here for 4 hours waiting for them to figure out something. And my stomach is hurting. I had to go to the bathroom. My feet started burning. My makeup started sweating. They had to reapply it. I had to wait a little bit more.
You're starving.
I'm hungry.
Sorry. Yeah, but I've worked, like I said, I've worked on the production side, so I know both sides. So, and being an actor, that's like almost 90% of the game is waiting and then like trying to keep yourself like in the mental headspace to be ready when they are actually ready. And people don't understand how difficult that is. And that's why when people they see like actors on set who are being prima donnas and are like, don't talk to me, leave me alone. And people think they're assholes, but no, you just don't realize like how much crazy mental fortitude you need in order to be handling that situation and then be ready and on when you have to be on.
Okay, let's do a small little segue right fast. So I grew up with reality TV, like when the modern day reality TV is what I grew up with. And so now that I've stepped on the other side of it and I'm a part of things that are, you know, whatever, it's like, okay, now I understand. And I so want to do some type of book, some type of video, some type of class, really explaining like you just said, the psychological strength you have to do those types of things. And it's so many things you're being conscious of. It's so many things you're bombarded with. It's so many other lights and things that people do not see.
Yeah,
that play
it's crazy.
Who you are as a person in that moment. And then you're like, I don't want to be like this because it's,
Yeah, it's a lot. You have to have like incredible mental zen to like put yourself in the place. So really like trying to become a better actor is like really working on your like mental focus. It's like, you know, the best actors I think have the best mental focus that they can put themselves in the places that they need to be with 5,000 million distractions around them and the most uncomfortable situation in the world.
Okay. V Green wants to know, what is your favorite top model photo shoot?
Like ever or
I guess one that you took, like one that you participated in.
You know, strangely, what comes to my mind is the meat photo shoot, wearing the meat. I know it's like so gross and everything, but in some way it was such an interesting idea. But then also I really loved the Forza Bruta shoot. Like that was super fun to be able to go there and have that experience. And even though I hurt myself, like I didn't really hurt myself that badly. And we were told to like slide on, we were taught how to do what the performers did. So that was really fun. But also the homeless photo shoot was super, super like important to me because of all the feels, and we were working with the girls who were, you know, had battled with homelessness. And I got to meet Angelica Torres and Isis, who are amazing people. And I still love Angelica. And, you know, she's still on her amazing journey, like fighting for transgender rights and being a model and trying to find more representation. You know, it's like unbelievable. She still has to struggle to get into projects and everything. So that was really important once in a while.
So after my talk with Marvita, and she talked about Angelica Torres.
Oh, she did?
She talked about Angelica Torres, and I saw Angelica's name pop up in the live that I did with Christiana from Cycle 24.
Oh,
and I actually went
Christiana
and found
too.
her. It was she did a great job, but I went and found Angelica and just followed her because you guys have spoken so well about her. I'm like, I feel like she's someone I should know.
You should know her. She's wonderful. I love her.
Too. Shout out to Angelica Torres.
Shout out to Angelica Torres, you beautiful, beautiful woman.
Do you still keep in touch with any of the contestants? You've already touched on Marvita. Anybody else you're still chummy with?
Yes, and Stacey Ann, of course. She's here in New York City. She's still a beautiful, successful model, and we still talk. And there's Lauren. Of course, I talk to Lauren all the time. We're trying to make a rescue mission for Lauren, get her ass back over here. And we always talk about, you know, us, Marvita, Lauren, and Stacey Ann and I, we do like chat all together and, you know, try to get together, which is difficult in this time, but.
Well, listen, I didn't think I could do it, but I successfully did a live with Cycle 13 girls. I had Sunday Love, I had Jen on, and I had Laura all at one time. So if you girls want to bless us kids with the mini Cycle 10 reunion,
yes,
let me know.
Let's do it. I mean, I don't see why Whitney might want to come and Fatima. Why not? Come on.
Let's call Tyra too. Let's have everybody come back.
I know. Where's Tyra? Marvita used to always call her Trya.
Why she used to call her Trya?
Trya, because she's trying.
And then the last question V Green had for you is, any modeling after Top Model? Brag. I want you to brag right now. Please brag.
I'm terrible at that. Yes, I mean, I did tons of modeling.
Is she there?
Top Model. Oh, yes, I'm here. Sorry. Maybe I should turn on my Wi-Fi.
No, you're back. Do you guys see I'm trying to smile?
Sorry, my Wi-Fi. I turned on my Wi-Fi. I think my reception was not so good for a second.
You good, girl.
And my phone is crap. Sorry. Oh yeah, so modeling afterwards. I did a lot of modeling afterwards. Technical difficulties. But yeah, and the acting stuff.
It's okay.
Modeling, magazines, everything. Making babies.
What were some of the magazines?
I think I've been in like most magazines, like Glamour, and even back in the day, YM and 17, and what is it, like In Style, what Self, what is that other, like, there's that bridal one. What is that big one?
Children.
I know, no, I'm like super bad at, oh my God.
I love to see it.
I don't know, yeah, but there's just stuff of me all over the world. Like, that's how, asking about the Westworld stuff, like that's how that Westworld thing comes out. Like when you have enough of your pictures of yourself out there in the ethers, in the digital world and media, then it's just like appears other places and you don't even know about it. It's crazy.
Can we talk about Westworld right now? A lot of questions from the fans about Westworld and the story about how you did, like how you got that and how you did that.
Yeah, so what I remember about that photo shoot, which was like some years before it actually appeared on the show, that it was for a tech company for like internal use. And it was actually one of the photos from that shoot, I don't know if it was that one, showed up as like an ad for Intel. And as far as I knew, the photographer wasn't allowed to, you know, as stock photos or whatnot, but people said they found it as a stock photo on somebody's website. But they really just took my picture and they put it in the pilot of Westworld for the first episode. And it's like the picture is what sets the robots off. It's what sets Dolores' dad off to start to go crazy. And then so it kind of, and then it reappears in like the second to last episode. And then the last episode, there's like a close up of my freaking picture and the guy's all like, I don't know, weird about it. So it kind of like became this thing of this character that was off in the real world. And so HBO decided to bring her on and, you know, actually inhabit the character. So I didn't even know about it at all because I show, and then a reporter contacted my husband and said, is your wife Claire Unabia, was she on HBO Westworld? And at first I thought it was like some weirdo or something, some hoax, and then I looked it up and I'm like, oh my God, that is me. I'm on the show. From there, like all these people, you know, were talking about it, and then HBO contacted me. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. But then even when I went on to the show, and like it was like a huge deal, there were like so many articles written about me being on the show. It was really interesting, but that was super fun. It was amazing and serendipitous that happened, and I feel so
lucky. Nice. Well, thank you for telling that story.
The now, real reason I think is because the creator.
oh,
sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so I know we are experiencing a glitch and a delay. So I don't know, did you turn off your Wi-Fi or turn on your Wi-Fi? Because it was great earlier.
On. Maybe I have to turn it off.
It's on right now? Mm-hmm. So probably let's try turning it off to see if it brings you up to speed, because it was great earlier. In the meantime, y'all saw how up my daughter. Okay.
My phone is just being super glitchy.
Is she back
at all now? Am I back?
So it's like a small delay.
Oh
yes,
no.
I can see you. Yeah.
How is it now? Are we in sync? Am I delayed?
I think we are. Let's roll with it.
Oh no. I don't know. I need to.
Let's try this. Honestly. Let's try this. Let's try me taking you off and then bring you back on.
Okay. I think it's just like
Okay,
overloaded.
let's try that. We're gonna let Miss Claire gather herself because we were just about to get into the things of the things of the things. Hi, everybody who's here. While Miss Claire gathers herself and we fix all these technical difficulties, I just want to thank you guys for being here right now. You know, I feel very Lisa Vanderpump right now. You know, and I'm nowhere near Lisa Vanderpump, so maybe I can name myself Issa. Y'all, my brain is dirty. I ain't gonna say what I just thought to say. What is in my cup? I saw a question about it. I am drinking lemonade. It's like the country, whatever that shit is, country somebody, with a little bit of seltzer water. You guys know I love seltzer water, and Chemical X. Y'all tell Tyra to let the Wi-Fi go. Tell her she don't need to be worrying about what we doing over here. She need to stay over there. Don't touch nobody's Wi-Fi. Don't make nobody call us. Don't do nothing. Now, girl, we let you live many years, putting out a show for 24 cycles. We never came and touched any of the cords, okay? As bad as we have wanted to pull some of the cords out, and as bad as we wanted to cut the broadcast, we did not. So you let this loose right now, Tyra. In the name of Jesus, I bind you. I bind you, Tyra, from doing harm to yourself and harm to others. I bind you, Nancy. Bind you from doing harm to yourself and harm to others. Oh, God, they're going to get me one day. One day. Let's see. We're going to wait for Miss Claire. Send her again. Is she back? Okay, I think she's back. Let me make sure. This is the craft. Yes, ma'am. Y'all better know it. I bind you. Bind you from doing harm to yourself and harm to others. I bind you, Tyra. Bind you from doing harm to yourself and harm to others. I bind you, Tyra. I'm gonna be saying that all day now. Oh, God. Are you back?
I'm back. Is it working any better?
Yes, it's working beautifully.
Oh, yay. Yeah, you know what? I think my phone was hot. It's overloaded. I don't know.
Claire, you don't look like you aged a day.
Oh, thank you, darling. Thank you.
You look good, bitch.
That's the help of having a Filipino father.
Yes, but we praise him on this day.
I know.
Because you look good.
Oh, thank you. My children.
While you were gone, I was binding Tyra.
What's that?
While you were gone, I was binding Tyra.
Oh.
Because she was messing with the Wi-Fi in our connection.
That is. She got those powers.
She may have the powers, but please know Oliver Twixt is the true supreme.
Yes. Claim it.
Okay, y'all. All right. Lexi wants to know, do you think Allison took it too far with the black comment towards Fatima?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, poor Allison. She was like a little troubled at that time. You know, like we're just under such, like you said, like psychological duress. It really brings out the worst in you, and you know, people feel very trapped and cornered, and you know, your ugliness comes out, and you know, they made up, and I think they would get along fine in the real world now, and I think Allison is in a good place now. She's doing like astrology stuff, which is cool. Yeah, as far as I know.
Nice.
But yeah, what I say lately is, you know what? Everybody has a part of your brain that is racist. That's part of like human biology. You know, our brain has to like make shortcuts according to whatever paradigms, you know, your brain has to make in order to handle all this information in the world. So part of everyone is racist, and you have to address that part of you, and you have to like get comfortable with it, and you have to actively work on that, everybody. And so it can come out, I think, of basically anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to really work on yourself in order to bring yourself to a better place, so that you're not ever letting that make bad judgments for you. This is really when people act upon those bad kind of thoughts in the real world on other people that, you know, we have such bad outcomes as we see.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. I love how you explained that. That was amazing. Okay. Now I'm going to start being a little messy and start asking you a little bit of the hard questions. So buckle up, sweet cheeks.
Get into it.
What are your thoughts about Whitney's win and her potentially being a quote-unquote pre-selected winner for this cycle of Cycle 10?
Oh, well, I mean, I called it when we were in casting week. I took her aside. We were like, you know, and from even then, like, everyone could tell her personality was, you know, a bit like jarring and like, you know, I'm too good for y'all kind of girl. But I was like, you are a plus size model. Tyra has been dying for a plus size model to win forever. So you have the best chance to win. And she was like, I know. Thank you. So we all saw it. I mean, I saw it coming. I saw it coming like a mile away. I was like, all you have to do is like not mess up terribly and you will win. You'll be golden. Because, you know, like, you know, Anya was amazing. She was incredible and totally could have won. But Whitney, she did hold her own, and she did enough that it wasn't like obvious that Tyra just really wanted a plus size model to win. But I don't think she was like completely selected, but Tyra was trying to find those girls who could be her plus size winner for sure.
No, right. No, you're absolutely right. So this person adds, I remember that in a CW interview you did after your elimination, you mentioned you rooted for Whitney winning and you didn't root for her winning at the same time because she can't present a plus size, because she can't represent the plus size models, but her personality was not likable. What are your thoughts on her as a person during the time you guys were filming Cycle 10?
Yeah, she was, you know, like kind of a typical high school mean girl. You know, deep down, she was just dealing with her own insecurities, being like a fuller figure girl. And she was not like the type of role model I would choose for, you know, the girls watching the show in her personality. And especially if like you were there in the house and you saw all of it, it was like, wow, she was definitely like the queen bee in a bad way, running like the show, like turning people against each other. And it was, you know, a lot. And they had to really edit it to make her look as good as they could, which was difficult. But I love Whitney. She's a great person though, you know, in real life and now especially, you know, she's a mother and she has a business and everything. But she's, you know, she's still, that's part of her personality, being like, you know, a bit of a catty kind of woman, but you know, she owns it in a much more wholesome way now, I think.
Refined way.
In a refined way, in a refined Southern bitchy way.
BKW from Instagram wants to know, I'm sorry, YouTube wants to know, I wanted to know about that fight with Dominique. Was Dominique really that difficult to live with? Was there anything else we did not see that producers edited out? They also added, Claire is life. Congratulations on your post-ANTM success.
Oh, thank you so much. But yeah, no, Dominique was crazy hard to live with. She was crazy, okay? She had just come off of like a bad relationship and she like was reading her self-help books and she was like a little bit crazy, and she was very much in Dominique world. You know, she would talk about herself in third person and she was just there like for the game. You know, she didn't care about nobody. She was just focused on Dominique, and it really made it so that she wouldn't like listen to other people so well. and it was extremely difficult. Everybody had problems with Dominique at some time. And the whole thing was just I think she was doing it on purpose in a way. Some of the girls are there, they're like playing the game, you know, they're playing to win. They're playing the game, and the game of like, you know, let's kind of mess with the other people to set them off their game, irritate people, throw them off their tracks, you know, get in their head, mess with their head. And then the other girls are just like, we're just trying to survive. We're just trying to survive. And the ones who were playing the game, they're the ones who went far. You know, they all went far. They were really playing that game, and us that were just trying to survive, we fell to the wayside. But so I think she was setting her alarm early, maybe not the first time it was an accident, but doing it again. It was like 3 mornings in a row for like absurdly early alarm clock, like 4 a.m., 5 a.m., ridiculously early. And she would not wake up to them. She would just let it go forever, you know. And I'm a light sleeper, and it was just her alarm just going off, and she wouldn't even turn it off. So that morning when we got in the fight, I came down to her and I was like, turn off your alarm. What are you doing? And then she like some snapping at me like, don't touch me, and all that. And I was like, what is wrong with you? Wake the front up. And I was super, super pissed. I mean, I'll still get pissed if people are waking me up unnecessarily early, but
That is funny.
But we were friends afterwards, right? Like, we were actually very close because we were both mothers. And even though she was crazy, I felt like she was a true person. Like, she was true to herself, and she displayed herself truly. It was sometimes grating, but she wasn't like putting up a false front. And we were close even right immediately afterwards. I forgave her, she forgave me, and everything. And, you know, we know that it's just part of the madness of the house.
A lot of questions from the fans for you about from their perspective. At times it seemed as if Claire could be a little bit antagonistic towards Dominique, especially a lot of them reference the specific moment when you were talking to the girls, and I believe you used the phrase "what's her name," or you used something in place of her name, and like you were talking to the girls. A lot of questions from the fans asking, looking back on it, do you feel any way remorseful or take responsibility for your actions, if any, in the whole Dominique Claire war?
Well, there was like not a war at all.
Mm-hmm.
They just are able to edit it that way because so much stuff was going on. You could have edited it to be like a war between anyone almost. And there's just so much footage, you know, they're filming us 24/7. But yeah, I'm definitely remorseful for the way that I acted and, you know, in that moment. But it was just part of that whole environment. We were like starved. They were taking away our rights to the phone. They were telling us, oh, you can call your family, and then taking it away and being like, no, you can't. And then for days. So we were all going crazy. You just start to go nuts. The production was really messing with us hardcore. And I was getting super, super pissed because I had a little baby at home. I was freaking out. I was like crying every night, missing my child, and I couldn't call them and find out what was going on. So everyone is like just on their last straw, and we're all just about to break. And so people were talking smack about other people at any time. It's almost like as a release, you know, it's like a release for that situation that we're in. And people say stuff, and you also like have that feeling of like, oh, we're on camera, we have to like act out or they're gonna kick us out, because literally they will just kick out if you're like being boring. It's not that you're just like being boring, but when people get into that shutdown mode and they're kind of refusing to participate in all this like community talking and that kind of stuff, they get rid of them. That happened with Amos when she was like, no, I'm done, and she kind of stopped talking to people a lot. Then they got rid of her.
What are some other stories you have regarding production for the season of Top Model? Like,
wait, sorry, I
some of
was
your
reading somebody's
with it.
thing.
No, it's okay. No, it's okay. You're fine. What? Do you have any more experiences, good or bad, with the production during the cycle of Top Model?
Well, my whole thing, okay, because I talked about this on one of my post-show interviews, but I staged a whole protest right before I left. I can't remember if it was the day that I got eliminated or the day before, but so I was effing pissed. They had promised us they would let us talk on the phone, and then they said, okay, no, we got back too late. You guys aren't going to be able to talk on the phone today, but tomorrow we promise. And then that day they didn't let us talk on the phone. And then they said the next day. So I got everyone together and I was like, you guys, we are not going to do a single effing thing that they tell us to do anymore until they let us have our phone privileges. I need to talk to my family. We all need to just talk to somebody who's normal, who's not here. And they wouldn't let us do it. I told the producers, like everyone, I was like, we are not doing anything. And they like had to take me aside and they were, talking to me and they're like, we promise you'll be able to talk to them soon. And that's what it was, the elimination day, because they said it to me and I was like, oh fuck, they're saying like, you're going to see your family soon. And like, they made me, I was like, oh shit, they're saying I'm going to be leaving.
Yes, your ass was gone, girl.
That day I got booted. I was out. But that's how it happens. You really see, like when Allison left, when Amy left, you see that they're just done with it. They're like, when Marvita left, Marvita was like, I'm done with this. Yeah. She came to the shoot and she was like, yo, I'm over this. And they see that and they're like, okay, we have to get rid of them. Yeah, you're out, because it's just like we're saying, it's really a mental fortitude test. How long can you handle it? And when you're like, I can't handle it anymore, they get rid of you.
And it's so crazy because when you watch this cycle early on, one would think that Claire is going to go the distance. And then all of a sudden, 2 episodes out from her going home, it's this narrative that Claire's obnoxious, she doesn't listen, she's rude, and she's one face, and now she has to go home. But now it makes sense that a real life decision of Claire wanted to break the scene up in the house, and they had to edit it to coincide with them getting your ass out of there because you were starting mutinies.
Oh my God, I was starting trouble. And they gave me like that beautiful edit of like, Claire is amazing, she's so good, and then she has this dramatic fall. And it's like, no, like you could have found annoying things I said in the beginning, and there were mean things I could have said in the beginning, and there were good pictures from that last photo shoot. What they didn't show is Tyra said, and she didn't say this to anyone else, she was like, Claire, your roll of film was beautiful. It was like watching a dance. It was so beautiful. And then they post that one that they chose, and she's like, but this one, I want to talk about it because it was not as dynamic or whatever. And Miss J's like, you look like a fly splattered up on the windshield. And it's like, so they choose pictures, not necessarily the best ones, but to give like a critique about, like, this one we need to talk about because we want to critique it. And she said there were like many beautiful photos, and of course I can't see them. And Mr. J, he was like staging a protest when I went. He came, you're kicked off, but you don't go immediately. So I came to the next thing was like this like gala kind of thing at the Condé Nast magazine building. So I had to come there to act like I'm still part of the show. And I talked with Mr. J, and he was like, I went to Tyra and I went to Miss J, and I told them I am not fucking doing this anymore. If we're going to be getting rid of like models who can actually model, that was bullshit. You should not got rid of Claire. And he was so pissed. He was like, I was so mad. And I was like, oh, thank you, Mr. J. He's so sweet. I love you.
Shout out to Mr. J. Manuel.
Mr. J. Manuel, one of the best. I love him.
Let's take this time to say, make sure you get his book. I believe where is it? It's on my thing. I'm just going to say The Meltdown. Make sure you guys go get The Meltdown where books are sold.
Oh, yes, I must read it. Yeah, he was a savior to us, like to all of us models there. Like when all of us were having a hard time, he would be like, I know, and really like talk to us as a real person and try to make us feel better and be like, you can do this, just try to focus and really encourage us in the shoots. He was an angel.
Dope.
Yeah.
Okay. That was a lot of that was a great story that I don't think thank you for sharing that. I really do appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
Yes. Okay, so Miles Stokes wants to know, I'm going to ask you now, what the hell made you jump up and say yes in front of Amy at elimination?
Okay, that is like the most embarrassing thing. But I don't know. I thought for sure I was going home. So I was just like so focused on like, oh my God, I'm not going home, that I totally didn't think about Amy there. And you know, also like she didn't go home right away. I saw her like right after I got eliminated. So it's like you all kind of know you're not like actually leaving. You have to like actually stay still in the city, and you're still somewhat involved with the production. So like I wasn't thinking of like, oh my God, Amy's leaving forever and I'm never gonna see her again. I was just in the moment focused on, oh my gosh, I'm not going home. But oh, so embarrassing. Yeah, when you see it, you're like, oh, it's so cringy and horrible.
Right.
But poor Amy, I love Amy so much. She was the sweetest there. Amy and Stacey Ann were probably the sweetest people there.
Amy going home was so sad for me watching, because I was like, she didn't do shit to nobody. Why y'all sent her home? Why would y'all give her R&B, set her up with this bad styling, which we would get to that photo shoot very soon.
Yeah. They just did some people wrong a little bit.
Whoever did that creative, the same elbows they used to hang the clothes, they should be sliced from root to tip. And you should be made to do 1,000 push-ups.
Yeah. I know. I remember when I got my outfit and I was like, what?
Your wig wasn't even on your head.
Yeah. I know. I was like, and I just kept on doing like hokey things. I was like smiling. Oh, that's the other thing. They're like, if you would have just smiled and stuff. I was like, almost my whole photo shoot was smiling because I felt so hokey. And I was like, well, that's what goes with it. If this was like a photo shoot in a magazine, I'd be like, you know, and that's what I did. But they, of course, didn't choose those pictures. But I was like, what am I going to do in this outfit? I don't fucking know.
So how did you feel going to panel and they were like, your picture was so comical and all these things? And it's like, well, first of all, you have to address the styling of the whole situation because I look a hot mess. Did you feel like you were being set up to fail?
A little bit, yeah. Well, but they tried that one to set up to fail. Like, you know, they gave Lauren, like, you know, pop Britney Spears, knowing that she, like, is a super punk girl. So they tried to give everyone, like, opposite. And I was like, when I was getting ready before I knew, I was like, oh, I'd be fine with anything. I don't care what they give me. And then somehow, though, they gave me, I was like, okay, I could do country, but this, I don't know what the hell this is. It's like 50s fake, I don't know, rockadoodle country. It was strange.
Very. Let's talk about the water photo shoot, your last photo shoot on Top Model. So the first question, same person wants to know, did Jay really tell you not to fall into that plastic sheet?
No, like I said, we were taught. Who was with me? I think Dominique and Lauren were with me in the first batch. Lauren, were you in the first batch with me? We were like the first 3 to go. And so they taught us all how to slide on the water, just like the Fuerza Bruta. We watched them do a whole demonstration. They did their performance. And then we were taught how to like fall and slide on the water. And then when you would slide in, that's when you would take your picture. So we were all taught that. And when I went to do it, I just instead went splat. And I didn't do the full sliding. But we were all completely told to fall onto the water and do like that. I mean, I would have loved to, just like the later girls, after I got hurt, they just told them instead to just lay there and then pose that way. I mean, that would have been much easier, but it was fun to do it, I guess, at least once.
So Claire, let me tell you this and how I'm going to support your story, because in my everyday life, I am a content creator, and me creating content for people, I edit them a lot.
Oh,
a
yes.
lot of footage. So there were two things that I noticed when watching this. I noticed that when you were preparing to slide in, the cut to Jay had no shadow casted on his face.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
made me believe, which made me, and again, I'm looking at it as an editor, a person that edits videos, and I've edited some of everything. These are the things that I keep in mind, just so it's believable to the person that's watching. Just in case we only had one camera and I had to come around and come film this again. At least let's make it look like we had 5 billion cameras. It was just something about you saying, "Are you guys ready?" and them cutting to him saying, "Don't fall, don't go in there." Made the way it felt. It didn't feel like it happened in that moment.
Oh, it was
The
a
second
total
thing
jump
that I
cut.
noticed.
Yeah, it was
The
a
second
big
thing that I
jump
noticed
cut.
is when you got to panel and Tyra was speaking and you were holding your neck and she said, "I heard you were told not to slide in." I saw your face and mouth and it looks like you're about to say, "Well, no." And now that you're telling me they taught you how to slide in, now I'm thinking, well, maybe that's probably what she said at that time. Like, no, I just didn't fall. It was, maybe they told us to slide in. It's just, yeah. I didn't believe you were that horrible.
I said that. I was like, no, they told us how to slide in. That's exactly what I said. And my face was that, and they cut it. And so Tyra just fully lied, saying that we weren't supposed to do that when we were like given like a half an hour demonstration on how to do that.
There were some other questions put in the comments about people saying that supposedly you knew some people who were on set that day at that photo shoot that potentially could have rubbed production the wrong way.
The Fuerza Bruta one? Or
that one?
Not the Fuerza Bruta one, but like two people on production I actually knew from before, and I didn't talk to them or anything, but it was one guy was a sound guy, and because I used to be like a camera assistant on indie films, and I had worked with him on a feature film and he was the audio guy, and so I saw him, and he was really nice actually. He was just like, "Yes, I won't say anything, but hello, and how are you? And I'll put your mic on for you." And then the one other guy was a Steadicam operator, and we had worked on a feature film together as well, where I was the camera assistant. I was his camera assistant, but he I don't think he really saw me. Like, he kind of maybe saw me, but was like, "I don't think that's Claire." And I didn't say anything to him. And it was only one day when we were like doing that warehouse model walk thing, I think was the day that I saw him. But yeah, there were those two people, but maybe the audio guy was there, but it had nothing to do with the shoot really, or affecting anything, because we all were like just kept it under wraps.
Gotcha. You going home was so eerie and like mysterious, and watching it now, it's obvious that there was something else going on that informed them sending you home that day, and you did a great job at explaining the whole mutiny that you. That is, I would have loved to see that. Those are things that we want to see. So when they're doing Top Model Cycle 25, and right after you finish writing my contract as your social media correspondent, I want you guys to also include in the creative. We want to see when the girls cut up for real.
Yes. You know what they should just come clean now, because nobody, like, everyone's talked about it already. And I think people would love to see that. What they should do is hire you as like a little side host. So you're on the, on the side being like, "Okay, kids, now this is what we're going to see." And then they go and they cut to the behind the scenes and the unedited versions. Like, I mean, really, this is how they can make money. Yeah.
And I'm okay with this. I can, how when they did the revival on VH1, they had not Brian Boyd, but Drew Elliott doing like the farewell interviews. I can do your farewell interviews. And you know what? I could be the little brother in the house. Like, I could be helping you girls. I could be like, "Hey, it's Tyra now. Hey, y'all come downstairs. It's time. Get y'all asses up. It's Tyra now."
Yes. If we had a fabulous man there with us to help us, that would have all gotten us through.
then when you girls come home, I can be like, so girls, what happened at the photo shoot today? Well, Lauren, I ain't seen you practice in 2 days, so that'll never happen. Okay, listen, back to these questions. Okay, so Alejandro had a great question. This was the first season with the new intro for the show. How was the day when you guys filmed this?
Was it different from the other intros? What did I think?
Yes. Cycle 10 had a new intro, new song. I was slightly bitter. I didn't like it, but I got used to it.
Yeah, it was a little bit weird. But when we shot that was like all on a set. It was a super long day, but it was really fun to shoot. We had like all these like cool like corsets and stuff, and everyone I thought looked really amazing, and it was really fun to shoot. You know, like,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Our other shoots were never like that when we got to do like things together in such a group and stuff. So that's one of the few times we were like a little bit more communal, which was nice.
And I'm assuming you guys shot this like during the same time you guys were about to go inside of the house.
Yeah, it was before, I think. It was before, like, or right when we got in the house. You know, it was one of the first things we did. Oh my gosh, and that's when I lost my bracelet. Another crazy thing that happened, I had this gorgeous tennis bracelet, pearls and diamonds, that I, like an idiot, brought on the show because I wanted to remember my husband by it, who gave it to me for our like 2nd year anniversary. And during that shoot, they asked me to take it off, so I took it off and I gave it to you know, like the people who are helping you dress, and they were watching it for me. And then when I got ready and we left, I was like one of the last ones to leave, and we got into the van, and I was like, oh my god, Kara was our helper lady, our PA. And I was like, Kara, I forgot my bracelet. I need to go back and get it. We were just like a block away. And she's like, oh, okay, wait, let me radio them. And I'm like, no, please, let's go back. And she's like, we'll radio them. And they wouldn't let me go back, but she got on the radio. They found the bracelet, and they're like, okay, they have it on the side for you. They have your bracelet. And then I'm asking for the next day, and she's like, oh, somehow it got sent back to LA with all of the costume prop stuff. I was like, no, oh my god. She's like, no, but I think, you know, someone's there, probably we can have it sent back. I was like, okay, please. And then they were never sent it back. And then even when I came to LA, like, I was calling people in the props place being like, can I try to come and get my bracelet? And they were like, oh yeah, okay, I think we have the box of stuff that was from that shoot. We'll try to send it over to you at your hotel. And nobody ever brought it to me or anything. So my bracelet is somewhere there in the studio props of A&TM, thinking that it's costume props, but it's my bracelet, my diamond pearl bracelet.
Oh, that sucks.
I know.
Well, listen, I know the people watch this. So when you guys finish watching us and you take your asses back to the office, take your ass in that room, dig through the box, and see if you see Claire's diamond pearl bracelet, DM her, and return it back to the rightful owner.
Yes, or if someone's just wearing it in the office, please. I don't care.
Ooh,
just send it back.
Ooh, that would be so shady. Okay, Bradley Kendall wants to know, who do you think receives an inaccurate edit?
Who said? Somebody said Tyra sent Claire back her bracelet. Who is saying that? No, they never sent me back my bracelet. Wait, sorry. What did you say?
Who do you think received an inaccurate edit?
Besides me? I mean, the only really other inaccurate edit was Whitney's, in that, you know, they were really trying to make her appear way more nice than she was.
That is funny.
Another inaccurate edit.
Okay, can I tell a small Whitney story? I've never met her personally. I've never interacted with her personally. But I remember back in the day, when this cycle was airing, and Whitney's from Florida, or stayed in Florida, or went to school in Florida. She has some connection with Florida where she stayed. And my cousin...
She's from Florida.
Okay, bam, thank you. So my cousin, I'm not going to say her name, but my cousin currently is... she's a pharmacist, but at that time she was in school, and she was like, she knew Whitney, like she had interacted with Whitney, and she was like, yeah, She was like, yeah, Whitney wasn't nice. Like, she said, yeah, Whitney wasn't a nice girl. She said that back then. And just, you know, whatever. I don't know the lady. I don't know. I just thought to share that story.
Yeah. I mean, you should have her on the show. You know, I'm sure.
Listen, Whitney.
Fun to talk to.
Come talk to me, girl.
Yes. I do love her, though.
XD Jess Factor X wants to know, I was curious why Claire chose to drink her breast milk in quotations. They have liquid gold and not freeze it. And there are a lot of questions about what happened to your breast milk after you got eliminated and all that. So just go to, and then there were questions about like, were the judges and Tyra and them really drinking your breast milk at auditions and all that. Answer all of those questions. This is the breast milk moment in time.
That is funny. Yes. No, of course, I took my breast milk with me after I got eliminated. I took that all with me. But yeah, I was giving it to my husband. Even if I couldn't talk to him, I could give my breast milk to production, and they were setting up drop-offs for my husband to come and pick the breast milk up. So while we were in casting week, though, we were only there for like 3 days. So it didn't make any sense for me to like ship it via FedEx, which would have been like, you know, overnight expensive and everything. So when I was the first time I had pumped and I was about to pour it down the drain, for like 6 months, I had been saving up my breast milk so that she could have enough breast milk to drink while I was away. So I had it there and I was like, oh my God, it just seems like I can't just pour it down the drain. This is like, you know, liquid gold. And so I ended up drinking it. And I was like, yeah, you know, I'm maybe not getting the best nutrition right now. I should just take back all these vitamins that I put out. And so I ended up drinking it rather than putting it down the drain, because it's too sad to pour your breast milk down the drain. It's too sad for me. So I ended up drinking it. And someone did drink it in the house. Who was it? It was either Lauren, did you drink some of my breast milk? Yeah, Kitty Cat liked it. Katarzyna, she put some of it in her coffee and she was like, very nice, I like it. Yes, she was hilarious. Oh my God.
This is the stuff I would have loved to see on TV. Everyone drinking the titty milk.
Yeah.
You get titty milk. You get titty milk. Everybody gets titty milk.
Yeah, but the judges, no, they were not drinking my actual breast milk. But I can't believe I even said that. But I was like, oh, this will get me in the house. If I tell them I'm drinking my breast milk, they'll probably let me in the house. That's what I was thinking.
So I've never had breast milk a day before in life. And you having consumed breast milk, can you describe, because I really want to know, can you describe the difference between milk that comes from a woman versus the milk that we buy in the store? I'm just nerdy and curious.
It's so different. Yeah, I didn't realize how different it would taste either. But it's a little bit thinner and it tastes like kind of like sweet rice milk. And it has like a very strong like, but I mean, I imagine all women's breast milk might taste differently, but it had like a strong, like nutty aftertaste that kind of lingered for a while.
What were you eating?
I mean, at that time, I was probably just eating a lot of vegetables and protein, but my husband put it in his coffee once and he was like, it's a little bit too oily for me and it has like too much aftertaste and not creamy enough. That was his critique. And I was like, okay, I'll go back and work on it. Let me see what I can do for you.
Shout out to you, Claire, for feeding the girls.
I'm a mama. What can I say?
Yes. Wink. Okay. Claire, can you tell us what your ethnic makeup is?
All right, get ready. As far as I know, I'm on my dad's side, he's Filipino, full Filipino, but inside of his Filipino, he has a little bit of Chinese and Spanish. And then my mom is in order of descending amounts: Irish, English, German, Jewish, Dutch, Native American, and I'm kind of leaving out in the British Isles. It's like Irish and Scotch Irish. Irish, Scotch, Irish, English. So definitely. So it's like 11 or 13 things. I think it's 13 things. I'm probably leaving out a little bit.
Gotcha. Cool. How much did they pay you guys in per diem? Do you remember?
I think it was $55
Per or every
day.
$55 a day?
$55 a day, yeah.
That is the most I've ever heard a girl say on one of these chats.
Really?
Yes. That's the most, because 55 times 7 is like $300, $400 a week. That's the most we have ever heard. Right, friends? The guys who've been watching it, this is the most we've ever heard a girl say they got paid a day.
For ANTM?
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Was it $350
I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm just asking the question.
Marvita says it's $350 a week. Yeah, that sounds right. 35 times 7 is 50. Yeah.
Okay, got you. All right. But even when Marvita said that, I was like, well, girl, the other girl, y'all just go watch them. I ain't even gonna get into that. All right. What were your thoughts on Miss J's jacket with the Velcro straps of models' names, to or boot?
Oh my God, that was hilarious. Okay, Miss J is just one of the funniest people ever. So anything.
She's an icon.
An icon. Anything that she would do, I always thought was just perfect and hilarious. I mean, she's one of the reasons why I loved the show from the beginning, you know. Just hilarious. And oh my God, every time if I ever saw her in real life, which I have a few times, I was always like, yeah. Oh, I love her.
I hope the stars align for me to meet him one day, because I just really want to meet. You know, I really don't. Maybe he does know, but I'm going to take this time to say that Miss J is an icon in TV and in pop culture. There is no one who looks like him. There's no one who acts like him. There's no one that has his type of comedic timing. There's no one who can explain the things in the way that he can explain them. And there is no one who has the amount of respect, I would say. People respect him for what he does and what he knows.
Yes, and I mean, like, because he has a real talent behind all of that, you know, behind all of his comedy. He's not just, you know, for comedic value. He's, like, got talent. He has actual huge experience in the industry. So, yeah, he's a dolphin, a unicorn.
One of my favorite Miss J moments comes from Cycle 5 when Nick Pace, she was in panel and her photo of her screaming popped up, you know, her screaming face and her, you know, whatever. And it cuts to him letting out this large, long scream. And it is honestly, it is still funny, still to this day.
I do remember that. That was hilarious. I know. He had all the faces.
So, this is the first cycle that Paulina Poroskova joins the top model family, and there has been a lot of things out there in the world about Paulina's experience on Top Model, specifically in relation to Tyra Banks. What were your experiences of Paulina, and did you see any of these Paulina-Tyra Banks interactions that they speak of?
Wait, I don't even know. What did they say? Did they have?
Girl, Miss Paulina said Tyra Banks was always late. She said, girl, there was, you know, she was always late. You had to wait for her. You know, Mr. J in his J's chat said, girl, you know, it was a lot of things with them too. And then even watching Paulina, I remember Paulina was a guest on Tyra Banks' show, her talk show. And there was like an energy between them, and even in some of the joking Paulina was doing and a little thing, it was, you know, I've always been a smart girl, so even back then I was like, do they like each other? Like, do they really like get along?
Yeah, no, I can totally see that. Well, like Paulina was very much like, I am like a professional, you know, I'm a professional supermodel. I'm here for a job and we do it. And she would always give her opinion very like truthfully, and would be like kind of offended when the other judges were like not taking it seriously, or sometimes she would say things and they would be like, they would kind of make fun of her a little bit, and she was just kind of like that. And yes, Tyra was late a lot, and I got the feeling that Paulina didn't think it was cute at all. And just wasting her time. But she was super, super sweet. And she gave all of us, I think all of us gave us her book that she wrote, like Model last summer. I forget what it was, but I read that book and I loved it. Paulina, she's like the real deal. You know, she's not on there trying to just like make TV. She wanted to be there to like help young models, and Tyra maybe not always as much.
Gotcha. I want to ask you about a sensitive topic. I think with me saying that, you know what I'm going to ask you about Miss Kimberly, who was a contestant this cycle, and unfortunately not many years later, but later after the cycle, you know, with her, after her battle with whatever she was dealing with, she unfortunately committed suicide and unfortunately is no longer here with us. I'll take this time before I go on and say, hey guys, if you need any help, there are people out there, there are free services out there, there are a lot of things and resources out there if you need help. And we're human, we don't have it all, we don't know it all, we can't do it all, and we do need help from time to time. If you know someone out there that needs help, I'm not well versed in this, all I can say is just do it. Just do it. Be a human, just do it. And be that person that helps that person get help. From your experiences with Kimberly being there, and I remember Marvita in our chat, she said that Kimberly cried a lot during her time on Top Model. What were your experiences like with Kimberly, and what were you thinking in panel when she quit so suddenly?
Yeah, it was extremely tragic, and I was talking to her in all the days in advance. She was extremely depressed. She was really upset. She was very upset about her boyfriend, and she was in a really bad place. And, you know, we were all trying to talk to her and, you know, tell her that we'd be there for her, that it's okay, just, you know, keep on pushing through. So I was really, really upset when they just let her walk out like that, because honestly, like you said, that was not her just being like, I want to leave. That was honestly a cry for help. Like, she needed help in that moment, and Tyra just told her to just effing go, you know, and that was just so callous to me. You know, that's not what you should do to people in that moment of vulnerability. You know, we should have maybe stopped tape, and Tyra could have taken her aside and talked to her, let her, you know, she probably just needed to have some time talking to someone and cry it out and tell her what was really on her mind. Because what was really on her mind was not that she was disliking fashion and that she was hating fashion and whatnot. She was just having an extremely difficult time.
Were the people running the show, were they knowledgeable about the things that concerned her?
I don't know. You know, I'm sure that they were to some extent, and they do like psychological evaluations with you, but you know, it's just hard in that time that things are going so fast.
No, Miss Claire. Is it Claire? Is it me? Hey guys. Oh no. Is it me, guys? Oh, okay. I didn't know. I didn't want to touch it. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't know if it was me. I was checking my other phone to see if it was whatever. No, we're gonna see if we can get her back because we're almost done, guys. We're almost done. I bind you. I bind you from doing harm to yourself and harm to others. I bind you. I bind you from doing harm to yourself and harm to others. I just sent her a request back to see if I can get her back. While she's gone, and I still have you guys, when it comes to this whole Kimberly thing on Cycle 10, as a fan, I'm always curious to know what made them still put her in the house. I don't know, there's so many questions about it, and what gives me pause is I don't want to I don't want to give blame or make it seem like I'm blaming someone for doing something purposely wrong. But my thing is, okay, y'all said Tiffany couldn't get in the house cycle 4. Y'all said a lot of Marvita can get into the house cycle 9. So you guys had tests in place that were able to detect and pick up on when girls were not well and could not compete. What made them put her in the house after her doing a psychological exam? Now, as me being me, here's what I say. There's 2 things that I say. I say, one, either she was able to really mask what was going on and she was able to pass their test and they didn't even know what was going on. But when I hear Marvita and I hear now Claire say she was crying all the time and she was very depressed and all those things, listen, on production sets, the people are paid there to watch you. The people are paid to watch what you do, what you say, what you don't say. And nowadays in 2020, what you post, what you like, what you share, they're paid to watch you. So the other part of me says, did they know what she was going through and thought that potentially this could be a great story to expound upon as she progressed during the cycle? I don't know. But these are the things that my brain thinks. That's all I'm gonna say about that. When Claire come back on, I ain't gonna say nothing else about because I just don't want to think that those people did that.
Sorry, my phone died.
No, you're okay. Oh no, you're fine. Ooh.
I just got this hat.
There is a house in New Orleans. They call it the
Rising.
Yes, your hat just reminded me of Coven.
Someone just gave me this hat, Marsha. I'm an amazing sculptor because I'm editing her video for her, and it is so difficult.
What do you use to edit videos?
Premiere.
I use Final Cut. I think I'm gonna start learning Premiere.
I love Final Cut. I used to use Final Cut too. I don't know. We just have Premiere on this computer. First, I learned Premiere, then I learned Final Cut, then I had to go back to Premiere, and then now I want to get this other one. I forget what it's called, but I don't know. Anyway.
So you're standing there in elimination. Kimberly comes forward and says she doesn't want to be there. And I remember distinctly there's a cut to you, like being confused, like, you know, why is she leaving, all of that. Again, tell us about that moment, and then you can finish it off with anything that happened after that, and of course, what we all came to know eventually about Kimberly.
Yeah, I was just so upset because I knew that she didn't want to leave like that, you know, that she was just really upset. I don't know, but yeah, you're right. At the same time, she did want to leave and maybe had to leave, but just maybe not under that circumstances. And I think, like you said, they should have done their due diligence to make sure that, you know, they got her help. I mean, in some ways, it would be counterintuitive for them to have like a therapist there on set, but it would have been actually very helpful in a lot of ways. But they need you to be psychologically broken, so that wouldn't have helped their cases. But
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, no, they knew she was crying all the time. Now that I started thinking about it after I went, that they did know that she was crying all the time, and she did go to them complaining, and, you know, she might have even asked to go before then. I'm not even sure. I feel like she did. Does anyone else remember, Marvita? Did she ask to leave and they like told her you can't?
I think Lauren is here too. If you guys want to sound off in the comments and let us know, did she ask? But we honor her memory. We honor the things that she did, and we send love and positive energy.
Yes, you're a beautiful person. Kimberly, we love you.
You're almost done with me, at least. There was a question I saw it pop up at least 3 times. People were talking about episode 3 in panel. Your shirt was turned inside out. Do you remember what was written on your shirt that made them tell you to turn your shirt inside out? I saw at least 3 questions about that.
What? Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh. I do. That's my boy, Lucas. He used to have this company, Lucas Walters. he had this company called Sweatshop Labor. And so on it, it's a shirt he made, and it said, I love sweatshop labor. And it's a whole thing against sweatshop labor because he makes it in America. It's made with like American apparel things, and he made it all here in Brooklyn. And so it was just kind of like an anti-sweatshop labor thing, saying that if you're wearing like a Nike t-shirt that says like Nike and it's made in China, you're basically saying I love sweatshop labor. So that's what it said on the inside of the shirt, and they had me turn it right, inside out. So funny. People catch up. I love how like, attentive the viewers are to all this thing. Like, big ups to all you people who catch that kind of stuff.
Is there anything you want to tell us about Cycle 10 that people do not know that you think we should know about?
I mean, it looked like there was a lot of fighting and whatnot, but really we did have like a very good time. And I think in some ways our cycle got along a lot better than so many cycles. And even if you were to put us all in a room together now, I think we would all like have a really fun time and just love each other. And that's what you don't get to see. We spent a lot of time like singing songs together and just having a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Good. Okay. So this person wrote this down on YouTube clip, and it was interesting. I didn't know. I want to know. They put down here, ask her about her recent feud with Fatima.
Fatima,
I'm sorry.
No, yeah, she says Fatima, but originally she was like, my name would be Fatima. I don't know if there is a real feud, but I did see on her Instagram, like I didn't pay attention, but I said something on one of her pictures, like with cheetahs, and I was like, oh, so amazing. I would love to be with cheetahs, or you look beautiful. I don't remember exactly what my comment was. And then later on, it said that Fatima said, like, don't act, Claire, you fake something, you never whatever, don't try and act nice or something like that. And then like other people said things, and then like she said more other things, and I don't know, I thought she was just hacked. It seemed really, really weird. But then I started seeing some other strange behavior on her Instagram, so I don't know what's going on. We might have to go find Fatima, and maybe she needs help. I don't know. But it was strange. It was strange. Maybe she got kidnapped by somebody. I don't know. She might need help. I don't know. We might have to go get Fatima. Marvita, where are you?
Marvita, come fix it, girl. Come fix it.
Yes, come fix it. Marvita was, that's what people didn't see too. Marvita was our fixer in the house. That's
was she?
See. She was. Oh my God. Marvita was like the ambassador of the UN there. Any problem you had, you were like, go take it to Marvita, and she will fix it between you and whoever you have a problem. And she'd be like, all right, children, listen up. This is what we're going to do now. Okay. And she would tell people, you know what? This is what you need to do. And then you'll be fine. Any problem you had with Marvita was like our queen mother up in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then once Marvita left, that's why things like turned to shit once Marvita left.
Wowzers.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It does.
What are your thoughts on Tyra
and her back for like
what'd you say?
I can't believe they didn't bring her back for All Stars.
Were you asked back for All Stars?
No. They're like, Claire's boring. We're not gonna bring her back. But they asked Lauren. They asked Lauren Utter. And they asked Marvita. They did ask them, like, but I think they didn't get chosen in the final. But they were interviewing them. They both like asked me, like, oh, did they call you too? And I was like, no, nobody cares about little old me.
No, girl, because you were hosting protests on the set. They didn't have time for that. They was like, girl, no, she causes trouble. She's problem.
Yeah, no, X.
What are your thoughts on Tyra Banks and the other judges? You already talked about Miss J, but Tyra Banks and Nigel.
Wait, so, but this is my real thing with Tyra. I'm like, what is going on with her? Is she still hosting America's Got Talent?
Don't make me lie. I don't know.
Well, yeah, so I don't know either, but I don't know what the hell is she doing hosting that show. To me, that is like a huge step down for her. Like being a judge on that show, awesome. But like being in the back wings, being like, oh, hey guys, so we're just catching up with the contestants over here. Oh my God, did you see that? Like just being a little side chatter, that is so beneath you, I think. So I don't know why she went a step down. Like you don't go from judging and then to being like the backstage person. That's moving in the wrong direction. So I always viewed her as, you know, a woman having like her large entrepreneur kingdom and having like so many amazing projects going, that to me it was really disheartening to see her in that position. Like it made me think she had gone somewhere strange with her career path or made some bad choices or something. I didn't like it.
I bind you, Tyra, from doing harm to yourself and harm to our Wi-Fi. I bind you, Tyra, from doing harm to yourself and harm to our Wi-Fi. When was the last time you saw her?
Oh, goodness. The last time I saw her was on her show. Like, she actually brought me onto her show a good many times to just, like, you know, help with segments. We're going and doing makeovers and doing, like, little side hosting things like that with her, which was super fun. And she was always great on there. And she was nice and, you know, loving and everything like that. I don't know why she gave up her show and everything.
All right, guys.
Oh, yeah, she's going to be holding a briefcase on Deal or No Deal next. Exactly. Like, you don't want to be moving in that direction. Speaking of which, I have a friend who was a model on the Deal or No Deal. She's one of those briefcase girls. I didn't even know until recently I found out. Megan Abrigo. And she dated, what's his name? Oh, God, that hilarious comedian. Oh, sorry. My brain is...
Who?
The really tall, skinny one that always talks about all the videos. Oh my God, why can't I remember? I'm sorry, I'm like an old lady.
No, I'll make time for you, mama.
Wait, let's move on. I gotta look it up.
Anshul told us yesterday that she was a Deal or No Deal girl. I believe that's what she told us yesterday.
Wait, who?
Anshul from Cycle 7 said that she was a Deal or No Deal girl.
Really?
Too.
Oh my God.
I believe she said that. If she didn't, I'm sorry, but I remember, I believe she said that she did something on Deal or No Deal too. And that's how she bumped into Tyra on set for something else.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Matt!
Okay, guys, so while we have this little break, all of you guys who got badges, currently 5 of you guys, Nia, Edward _Archibald _Spats _Marina, Justin T. Sean, Randy, Milan M2, my baby, and Kingdom Come. I get it. Oh my God, I finally got it. Kingdom Come. You guys
Tosh,
put your questions
Tosh,
right.
No, Daniel Tosh. She dated Daniel Tosh for like 3 years.
Oh.
Crazy. You know who that comedian, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're like too young maybe, but like before your time.
I know many things before my time.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Because you want to be timeless like you are.
You want to be timeless, you know? But you guys put your... Okay, so here they go. Randy wants to know, how long did she keep
my pixie cut? I did keep my pixie cut for, like I recut it like that once. I re-dyed my hair blonde and recut my hair like that once. This photographer, a friend of mine who does the Ballerina Project, who's amazing, he was like, no, I think it's best you keep with that branding because that's what people know you as. So do that. And I did that once, and it was like all these agencies. At that time, it was like a recession. And all these agencies were like, yeah, maybe if you didn't have blonde hair, we'd be able to take you, but like not with blonde hair. So it was a bad move. But I did just let my hair grow out after that one cut.
Gotcha. I love your
But
hair.
I'm about to cut my hair again. I am so sick of my hair. I cut my hair once during quarantine, and I was almost going to do like a Sinead O'Connor video and just shave my head.
Can you do that for us, please?
I think I'm going to shave my head, yes.
What was the worst photo shoot experience for you during the show? This is from Edward _Archibald.
During the show?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, like we said, doing that country shoot, I did. I I just felt like at a loss of like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to make this high fashion. I was like, just trying to think like, how do I make this like really gaudy outfit into something like high fashion? And I was honestly struggling with that, and it showed. It showed. It showed.
But they had to get you out of there, girl, because you were doing too much.
Yeah,
You were doing too
I
much
know.
for them. For them,
Well, yeah,
you were doing
I
too
mean,
much.
they lied about that too. They're like, why didn't you just do some smiling shots? I was like, oh, that was like all I did. I did like just smiling shots. I was like, ah.
Randy Milan wants to know, did you ever get to work with Nigel again after the show?
Oh no, I wish I did. He was a foxy guy, but no.
Edward also wants to know, besides Whitney, who did you think would win or should win?
Well, honestly, in the house, everybody thought Katarzyna was gonna win. We all thought like she was.
So did we.
Yeah, and it was so weird, right? Like the judges, Tyra was always hating on her for looking like fake Eastern European or something, and we were like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, she was definitely like the most gorgeous one there, and had like the most perfect kind of like model structure and easily photogenic. And I think the reason why she started doing not so good later on was because like Tyra was getting in her head, but maybe that was part of the plan because Tyra knew that she needed Whitney to win. So she's like, we got to get rid of this one who's actually super good. So I got to like plant the seeds of negativity in her head. Maybe.
I don't know. We bind you, Tyra, from doing harm, not to yourself and harm to our Wi-Fi. Wasn't this... Now my top model fans know this was not the ice cream in the hand photo shoot. That was cycle 7. We are currently on cycle 10.
Wait, but what cycle was it that I saw Tyra talking about her shoot where they put blackface on? What cycle was that? So they were in Hawaii, where I'm from, and I was super pissed they didn't let me say I was from Hawaii. They only let Anya, who's Russian, adopted, say that she was from Hawaii. I was super pissed about that. But so they actually went and filmed a whole cycle in Hawaii, which I've never even
13.
seen. Cycle 13?
Mm-hmm. Short cycle.
Thing? The whole
well, not the whole thing, but their international destination was Hawaii.
Oh, well, that's not really nice because there's no fashion scene in Hawaii, really.
Well, Sunday said it was the budget.
The budget? Oh, well, I mean, Hawaii is expensive. Well, I guess not from LA. But anyway, so she was like, oh, the Hapa people, and that's what I am, Hapa. We call it Hapa. We're mixed breeds, you know? And she thought she wanted all the girls to be Hapa, to be mixed ethnicity. So she painted their faces like brown and darker. And she's like, oh, I never thought it would be construed as blackface. It's like, oh God, come on, Tyra, come on. So ridiculous. She had to apologize for that.
A lot.
A
lot. Well, listen, thank you guys for watching, for your questions. I'm going to ask Claire one last question. I ask all of the girls, if you were standing before Tyra Banks right now in 2020, what would you say to her?
I would say, what's the business plan, mama? Like, let's get it on the road. You need help. I'm down to partner with you. Let's get some things going. Let's do a new show. I have ideas for days for new shows that could be awesome.
Is there anything you want to shamelessly plug right now?
You guys can go look at my fun performance videos. I did some hilarious performance videos lately with my friend Corey Caldwell Sucks. He is a hilarious Black gay comedian, and we used to do actual live improv shows, comedy shows that were with audiences. But now we've done several virtual, and you can go see them on my page and my Instagram TV. You can see, I just want to know what you guys think of my ridiculous performances. There's the family in there. There's some bad singing. There's some opera. It's funny. Just curious what you guys think.
I'm going to go check it out. I'm going to let you know.
Should I do more? I'm trying to think of another one to do. So if anyone has ideas, let me know.
Well, I'm going to go look, and I'm definitely going to let you know.
Yeah, and maybe we can do something together, Oliver.
Ooh, don't get me excited. Claire, listen.
I'm going to think of ideas.
Thank you so much for doing this with me. This is so
Thank
freaking
you.
amazing.
It's been fun. I haven't talked to people in a while.
We're here, you got everyone. Listen, we're sending Claire from Cycle 10, America's Next Top Model, hugs, kisses, and positive energy as we wave goodbye to her from doing this amazing Cycle 10 Top Model chat.
Hugs and kisses to you, and hugs and kisses to everybody. I love you all.
Love you too.
Stay safe. Stay well.
And let's do this road trip together. Like, get Lauren's ass wherever the fuck she is. Tell Marbita to gas it up, and y'all come see me.
Yes, I'm doing it. I'm planning it for sure.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. See you soon.
See you soon. That was a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. As I tell you guys all the time, this video will be posted on my YouTube channel a little later. I'm probably going to air this one on Tuesday because I still have my air the actual one, but I'm probably going to air it on Monday because Housewives comes out tonight. No one's doing anything else on the internet besides watching Housewives. Anyways, it's always a joy. It's always a pleasure. Thank you guys so much. Be sure to pray and kegel because who wants loose tiger meat? Did I just say? Okay, y'all, I'm going.